Hey everyone, it's Jason. Welcome to another Legend of the Five Rings card game, the living card game unboxing. This is for the Dynasty Packs. So the Dynasty Packs are individual, kind of little, almost like booster packs. But being this is a living card game, every pack has the exact same cards in it. So all the cards in Fate No Secrets are going to be the same no matter how many times you buy this pack. But Chrysanthemum Throne is going to have a different set of cards, but every card in there will be the same. So each of these 6 packs will have a different set of 60 cards, but each pack will always have the exact same cards in each one. So you don't have to randomly buy them. And then the Dynasty Packs work kind of as in a theme. So each different color is going to represent a different cycle. So if we look on the back of one of these, and focus. So this is going to be the Imperial cycle, which has this little set symbol. So like this pack contains cards 80 through 81. So each one contains 3 copies of each of 20 different cards. The cards are sorted out between the 7 different clans and some unclanned cards, as well as some provinces. And possibly strongholds at the beginning of the sets. So what's nice about that, so when you pick up each individual pack, you're going to get somewhere between generally 2 to 4 cards for each clan. So it's not a bunch to, like, if you really want to play as one specific clan color, each pack isn't going to really give you a huge improvement. But if you pick up the entire cycle, you're going to get a bunch of cards for each different clan, which is really fun. Like, as an example, so yes, you're going to get a bunch of different stuff. And then throughout each cycle, there's going to be some running themes between each thing. There'll be different cycles of different cards. There might be a specific type of event or attachment or a certain type of character or new trait that comes from each one. But it might be like one version for the crane in this pack. This might have the crab. This one might have the scorpion and the unicorns. That one might have the lion. So if you want to get the full cycle of everything, you have to buy every single pack. So what we're going to do in these videos for the Dynasty Packs is I'm going to go through all of the, like I'm doing with the bigger sets, I'm going to do one video where I'm going through all of just the Dynasty cards. Not the Dynasty cards. What are they called? Yeah, the Dynasty. Brain losing. Yeah, the Dynasty cards. And I'll do a part 2 video where I go through all the conflict cards. But I'm going to go through all the packs combined as one. So instead of doing single pack, single pack, single pack, I'm going to go through all of the conflict cards for all 6 packs. And then we go on all the conflict cards for all of them, but doing them in clan order. So we're not looking at one card at a time, like 1 or 2 cards, and then having to wait till the next pack to see what the next 2. We're going to go through, like, all the Dynasty cards. We'll have all the crab cards, and then we'll go through all them. So it'll feel more like a big full, if you bought this as a big box set altogether. If you'd like to see what is individually in each pack, I will have a link in the description, and we'll be doing what I'm going to call a speed pack, where I'm just going to show this one, show exactly what cards are in there, read off the names, then go to the next one, do that. And I'm not going to be reading all the descriptions. This is a video where I'll be going through all the description of everything. So definitely check out those in the links if you'd like to just see quickly what's in each pack. In case you would like to pick up one here or there, just pick up specific cards. Alright, so without further ado, let's hop into these. Alright, so for this video, we're going to go through the Dynasty cycle of the Imperial cycle, which is the first cycle that came out. So this will have the special little chrysanthemum symbol there. Again, we'll have 3 copies of each card, so I'm not going to keep naming off each one, unless there's for some odd reason one where you have different, but these should all be 3 each. So our different packs as we go through, we're going to have the Tears of Akasamaru, for glory, or for honor and glory, Into the Forbidden City, the Chrysanthemum Throne, Fate Has No Secrets, and Meditations on the Imperial. So those would be the 6 Dynasty packs you go through for the Imperial cycle. So we're going to look at our Providence cards first. So let's go ahead and hop right into those. zoom back up here on the camera. So in the bottom corner down here, they will have the little set symbol down there so we know which one. It doesn't tell you which pack it belongs to, it's just part of the set. So once you collect it all again as a big giant like booster box or booster set or big expansion as opposed to 6 small packs, kind of works like that. So we have Blood of Anotangu, such as Shrine. So these are kind of fun because these have seeker roll only abilities. So you have to have the roll cards, which are optional, which makes sense they didn't have these in the base game. Because you didn't have to use them. But if you are, you have to use the seeker side. Now remember, there are 5 roll cards, 1 for each different element. And then each side has either a seeker or a keeper roll. So there are going to be some of these provinces that require you have to have a seeker roll, doesn't matter what element. There are going to be some that require specific elements. They might say air roll only or earth roll only. Then they don't care if you have the seeker or the keeper side. But it does kind of like, it makes you have to use those, but it also kind of limits and changes up what you can do and how your playstyle might be. So alright, we have this. As during conflicts at this province, each player cannot spend fate from his or her pool. Ooh, so that's interesting. So if you're attacking this province, it does hurt you as well, but you can plan for that at least a little bit. But your opponent's kind of like, oh no, I was going to play a bunch of cards to win this, and now they can't. Our next one is the Tears of Atamarasu, so our name of our set here. So this is a keeper roll only, so we get 1 for each, and they're still going to have their different elements on the bottom. So reaction. After this province is revealed, you gain 1 fate for each attacking character. So this is going to punish them for going all out on it. Alright, and then we're going to notice that was card 1 and 2, and then our next one we're going to jump to is number 21. So this is going to go to pack number 2. That's just kind of how we're going to flow. So we do all the provinces at once, all the crab, all the crane. So we can kind of see how they all, over the course of the cycle, work together. So we have Frostbitten Crossing. So this is for air roll only. Action. During a conflict at this province, choose a participating character and discard each attachment on that character. Interesting. So if you have ways to like move the conflict to a different province somehow, this could be very powerful. We have Riot in the Streets. Action. During a conflict at this province, if you control each 3 or more participating Bushi characters, choose a participating character and bow that character. This is also a fun thing too, so instead of playing around the roles, it's going to benefit you if you're playing more of a specific type of character. This one case being the Bushis, which are fairly common, so it's not a big deal there. We have Feast or Famine. Fire roll only. Interrupt. When this province is broken, choose an opponent's character, move each fate from that character to a character you control with no fate. Oh, that's kind of neat. So like if they flip this over and they do defeat it, you can potentially get a bunch of fate and keep one of your guys alive longer. If it's already been revealed because they didn't defeat it the first time, then your opponent's going to have to debate, like, do I bother to send my 4 fate guy in there, or should I only send guys with like 1 fate or 0 fate because they don't want to risk losing them? Interesting. Then we have Public Forum. It cannot be a stronghold province. So this cannot be up on your stronghold. It can be any of your other ones. Interrupt. When this province will be broken, if there are no honor tokens on it, place 1 honor token on it instead. So it just gets you an extra honor, then I'm guessing it during the game. I don't know how you interact with it specifically. There might be things that do. But if nothing else, you always have an honor sitting there ready to take for some reason. Alright, up next we have Before the Throne. Here's the Chrysanthemum Throne. A lot of stuff in this world. The Rukagon have jade stuff, the chrysanthemum. That color, the flower are the symbols of this world. So this is an Imperial one. So this is, we love the Imperial stuff. A little bit cannot be a stronghold province. Interrupt. When this province is broken, take 2 honor from your opponent. Your august Imperial Majesty, your humble servants come before you. Cool. Alright, then we have One for the Earth Roll, the Guardians of the Setsuku. So Earth Roll only. Reaction. After this province is revealed, about each character the printed cost of 2 or lower. So taxes people for attacking too hard. Massing at Twilight. Void Roll only. While resolving conflicts at this province, each character counts its combined might and political skill. Oh, that could be cool. Because there's some guys that are like really high political or really high military, but they have low on the other numbers. So you might be like 5 and 1 or 1 and 5. But then you have some guys that are like 4 and 3. Which, okay, so they're not as good in either one compared to that. Even if they're 3 and 3, right? They're still 6, I guess. It'd be the same. But you might get some guys that might have a little bit intermediate or in the middle. So that's kind of cool. Alright, then the last one we have for our provinces is along the River of Gold, which is our water roll. So this is the river trait. Action. During a conflict at a water province, choose each participating character, switch that character's military and political skill to the end of turn. That's kind of neat as well. Works on this one, obviously, this is a river province or a water one, but you can use it combined with some of the other ones, which is really fun. So that's neat. So we have new rolls. We have a couple that can go in any deck. We have one for each different element and one for keeper. So 7 of them that are specific to how they can kind of be used, which makes the game a little bit more interesting. If you didn't like rolls, this, or you didn't use them in the original game, you bought this stuff, this might make you want to try them out. So you can try some of these other cool ones. Could you opt to not use the rolls if you're like, I really don't like the roll cards. I think they're just extra, like, I don't care for the extra deck building part, right? And you're like, I don't really care for the extra little bonus that doesn't trigger super often. You're like, what if I just want to play this? If you're playing with your friends, your family, casual game, nothing's going to stop you from doing that. But always keep in mind, though, if you ever take this to some sort of, like, tournament, or you're going to like a game store to play against other people that you'll play, you might have to check with them to see if they're okay with that, because they might, I only follow the specific rules, even though it shouldn't hurt the game either way. And the thing is, most likely you can just put them cards to the side and not pay attention to them. But that's what we have. Alright, then we're going to hop into our Dynasty cards. So we're going to get through those in this video. We're going to start with our Crab Clan. The Staunch Hida, who's a Bushi and Yojimbo. Reaction. After this character wins a conflict as a defender, resolve the ring effect of that conflict as if you're the attacking player. Nice if you win as a defender. Obviously, you have to be a military might, because she only has 2. She has a dash in the political, so she can't do that at all. But that's still helpful. But we're going to go through these in pack order. So we're still not going to get character, then holdings like we normally would. We're going to get them kind of mixed up back and forth. So we have the Cartera District, a unique holding, which is an Imperial one. So this is one of the cycles we're going to get, or some of the stuff we're going to get in here. We're going to get a bunch more Imperial stuff, which they tend to be really interesting when combined together. If you want to make more of an Imperial type deck. So these are limit 1 per deck. So you're going to get 3 versions of them. I think they just did that for the sake of ease. They're only going to have 1 in your deck at a time. Action. Give an opponent 1 fate. Choose an attachment on a character that player controls. Take control of that attachment and attach it to an eligible character you control if able. Otherwise, discard it. So this is fun. You basically give them a fate to steal one of their attachments. So like one of their swords or their scrolls or whatever else they have. Ones that wouldn't be eligible lots of times would be some of the dragon ones, which require a monk. Obviously, if you don't have a monk, you can't attach it, but there at least you get rid of them. So it does make that a little bit nicer. We have the Stoic Magistrates. So the Magistrates are going to be another cycle we're going to see in this Dynasty Packs. So there's going to be 1 for every different clan. And they have some fun abilities. So the Bushi, Imperial, and Magistrate. Well, as characters defending, each character with a printed cost of 2 or lower does not count the skills towards the resolution of this conflict. There is no justice. There is just us. So the Magistrates have a lot of abilities. They're going to be very similar to each other, one for each clan, like I said, which are going to have some effect or count something to not have someone's skills count towards a part of the battle. So they're trying to, like, basically, like, hey, we're taking control of this, and this person's skills don't count. So I'm going to do just a quick jump, and we're not going to look too on at this. But the Crane one, Silver Tongue Magistrate, says, this character is attacking each other character has no fate on it, does not count as skill towards the resolution of this conflict. So that's what the Magistrates are going to do. They're going to come in and do something during a conflict generally to try and turn off someone else's skills. Each one's going to have a different trigger for that. So it makes for a fun set of characters because some of these characters have some really powerful skills. Turn them off, that's always helpful. Alright, then we have the Cow Inventor, Bushi and Engineer, Action. Choose a holding you control. You may trigger each of the holdings' triggered abilities an additional time each round, or a specified period. It will work eventually. So yeah, getting to re-trigger abilities is pretty sweet. Anytime you get to use an effect multiple times, there's nothing wrong with that. I was looking for, yeah. They had in the rulebook here, 3 basic types of triggered abilities: actions, interrupts, and reactions. Just so we know exactly what they are. So it's basically anything that's not, it has one of them bold keywords in front of it, and it's not a passive. So if we jump back to our holding here, action, give an opponent a fate. Choose one action. That player takes control of it, otherwise can't. So you normally can probably only do this once per turn. Oh, look, this is going to let us do it twice per turn. So that's pretty crazy there. Like, right, every turn you can steal 2 of your opponent's things for fate. That could definitely change the tides of the battle. We have Crisis Breakers. We have a new, I think they're in the first set. We have Berserkers. We have Bushi Berserkers. So now this character actually requires the keeper role only. So it's also a fun thing. A little bit of extra deck building in there. Action during a military conflict. If your opponent counts more current military skill than you, choose a Berserker character you control, ready that character, and move it into conflict. So if you're losing a military thing, you can bring another Berserker in to help you out. Bringing extra characters in at kind of a drop of a hat is always nice. We have a unique character, Yasuki Taka, a wily trader, and a daimyo. Daimyo are kind of like the lords of the area or the region. Not quite like the Imperial Lord or the Emperor. Not up that high, but still kind of like they rule like their section of the land. Reaction. After a crab character leaves play during a conflict, gain 1 fate. Unlimited. I find the best use of my mouth to bargain with it. So that's a fun thing. So now this only really helps if you're only playing a crab-only deck. If you start mixing in other cards, it is going to make it a little bit trickier. Then we have another unique character, Kune Resiko, Shugenja of the Earth. Reaction. After this character wins a conflict as a defender, choose an attacking character and move 1 fate from that character. Sweet. You defend, you can slowly take out your opponent's guys. The Kami of the Earth, a horde's corruption even more than we do. Their aid is ours for the asking. And then the final crab card we have in the Dynasty decks are Iron Mine, which is another holding. So you have another action or an interrupt, another trigger we can do. So interrupt, when a character you control leave play, sacrifice this holding instead. Although there's really no reason to trigger this multiple times, because anytime they leave, you can, you sacrifice this, you obviously only need to do it once. But this is a great way to, like, throw this out if you want to help protect one of your characters. You have to do it. The only thing is it doesn't say optional, so I believe you have to do it. But it keeps one of your guys alive for another turn, which is always fun. Alright, let's head into our cranes. Our blue, we have the Doji representative, who's a courtier. Action. During a conflict, move this character home. I feel I must decline your gracious invitation. So they're going to try and attack on their own, but you have the option of basically, like, I'm going to lose rather than risking this character for any reason. You can just back them off. It's kind of fun because you could send them out as attacking just as a 1 on your military, and then you're like, you know what, I'm not going to win this. I'll back off, pull them out, you know, or even send them as political, then pull them back out, because you don't have to bow them to do that. So it brings them back into the play, so you can use them later. Kind of fun stuff. We have a Kabuki hero, courtier and actor. So we'll see if we ever get anything else that really triggers off actor. I don't think there has been yet. Spend 1 fate. This character gets plus military might till the end of the conflict. X is equal to its political skill. So currently by itself, it only gains 2. But if you can somehow boost it up, awesome. A tear of dew falls on a fallen leaf. The glimmer of moonlight on a still lake, such as the impertinence of life. Ashina Ichikawa. We have a unique character, Kataka Yoshi, courtier, daimyo, and Imperial. So again, we're getting more Imperials, we're getting some more daimyos. I believe there's one for every single color, but I'm like not 100% on that. Action. While this character is participating in a conflict, discard the Imperial favor. Draw 3 cards. Reduce the cost of each event you play during this conflict by 2. I will not forget. Ooh, so that's fun. I love getting to play around with that Imperial favor. If you have it and it becomes a resource versus just giving you a bonus, that's actually really good. Then we have a new holding. We have the Shinsei District, which is unique and Imperial, so we're getting 1 per deck. Military conflicts cannot be declared against this holdings province. Crane loves their political stuff. This cements it in there. I love the blue on there too. That's really cool. All the blue. Then we have Doji Shizu, courtier and storyteller. During a fate phase, if you have the Imperial favor, this character cannot lose fate or be discarded. Musashi. So here's one where we get having the Imperial favor actually makes your deck stronger, or makes the character stronger. We have the Origami Master, Shugenja of Air, who has pride and action. Choose another character you control, move an honored status token from this character to the chosen character. So what does pride do? This character wins a conflict, honor it. When this character loses a conflict, dishonor it. So if you win one, then you gain an honor status, and then as an action, you can now move this to another character. So if you can keep sending this guy in to win conflicts, he can keep handing out honor tokens a bunch and make all your other characters better, which is really cool. And then we have our previously shown Silver Tongue Magistrate. Bushi, Imperial, and Magistrate. While those characters attacking each other, character has no fate on it, does not count as skill towards the resolution of this conflict. So this punishes people for being inexperienced, basically. Or near death, I guess. A beautiful empire can only be built upon beautiful laws. So another thing to mention with the Dynasty packs is there's not necessarily, 10 crab cards, 10 crane cards, 10 of each one for conflict, 10 for each for Dynasty. I believe overall the total for each one is the same, but it might not be even one side to the other. So what do we have here for crab? Like, right, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We had 8 different crab cards, and we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We only had 7 crane cards. So that probably means when we get to the other side, we'll probably end up with 7 of one of the other and 8 of the other one. So they do kind of bounce out overall. And I'm not 1,000. I'm pretty sure they all bounce out. And if they do, if they don't, it's going to be like one clan has 1 more card and another clan has 1 less card. There's nothing where one clan has like 5 more cards and one has 5 less. So at most, it's like a one-off difference between 1 or 2 clans. Awesome. So let's hop into our third clan. We have the Dragons in green. So we're going to start off with a unique character, Kasitsu Yaruma, who's a courtier, courtesy and no poison attachments. You can't poison this guy. And then reaction. After this character enters play, choose an unbroken province, turn that province face down. It's not really helpful if it has a reaction ability, but it also might confuse your opponent if they're not paying attention on what that does. What does courtesy do? This is when this card leaves play, its controller gains 1 fate. So yeah, if this guy gets taken out, it's not so bad for you. Alright, we have Northern Wall Sensei, who is a Bushi and keeper role only, so there's another keeper role card. Action list characters participating in a conflict. Choose a participating character you control with 1 or more attachments. Till the end of the conflict, that character is immune to event. So that's nice. It protects another character. And green has a lot of attachments. The Enigmatic Magistrate. So Bushi Imperial Magistrate. While this character is attacking only characters that have an odd printing cost, conquer skills towards the resolution effect. So we've had the first one, which had to be 2 or less. Was it 2 or less honor? 2 or less cost don't help. Then we have one that has no fate. This is only odd ones. So again, it's very interesting. Is it just to uphold an unjust law? But yeah, getting to shut down characters is kind of cool. We have 3 copies here of Ashigako Samuko, another unique character, Bushi and Champion. While you have the Imperial favor, this character does not bow as a result of conflict resolution while attacking. I will not merely record history, I will forge it myself. For a holding, we're going to get Mountaintop Statuaries, which is a temple. Reaction. After this holding is turned face up, move it to your stronghold province. Action. During a conflict at this province, sacrifice this holding. Choose an attacking character that printed cost of 2 or more and move that character home. Cool. So it's right away, as soon as it comes out, it's going to make your stronghold stronger. Plus, I mean, you could potentially get more than 1 holding on there. And during a conflict at this province, sacrifice this to choose an attacking character and move it home. So you can send somebody away. It helps keep your stronghold safer. The Itinerant Philosopher, which is a monk. Action list characters participating in a conflict. Discard the Imperial favor. Choose an opponent's participating character with 1 or more attachments. Bow that character. A student must learn every fallacy before they can learn the truth. So this is kind of neat. So again, we use that Imperial favor as a resource. And our last dragon card is Togashi Medicine. Monk and Tattooed. Reaction. After the fate phase begins, with the top 3 cards of your Dynasty deck, put them back in any order. It was but little I spent to save the kit, but it had cost a fortune. I would have not grudged it. Stacking your deck is always very good, so you can kind of pick what's going to come next. Whether you want to draw, plus it's how many cards do you want to draw. I'm going to draw, I only need this 1 card. I only draw 1 card. You only want 4, like I have a full hand, but you can choose if you're only going to pay 1. Which card's going to be on top to draw? If you're going to draw 4 cards, then it doesn't really make a difference, right? Cool. Alright, our 4th clan is in yellow. We have the Lions. Gifted Tactician. Bushi and Commander. I love the little fan paddle. Reaction. After this character wins a military conflict, draw a card. Lions love their conflicts. If you're fighting only present battle, you have already lost the war. We get a holding right away. The Hiko District. This is an Imperial, so 1 per deck. Political conflicts cannot be declared against this holdings province. So we had one, the Crane, that didn't let you do military. This doesn't let you do political ones. We have a unique character, Okama Yuzaki, Bushi and Courtier. Action list characters participating in a conflict. Discard the Imperial favor. Turn each face down card in your provinces face up. Then put 2 of your characters from your provinces into play participating in this conflict. Oh, so that's cool. So depending on what you have up, you might get to just add 2 extra characters, depending on if they're in your Dynasty stuff or not. But yeah, extra cards help. Plus you have to pay for them. Akaro Tashiro Bushi. Action. When characters are attacking, it gets +5 military until the end of the conflict. Provinces cannot be broken during this conflict. At the end of this conflict, you do not control a commander. Discard this character. You're the most gifted swordsman of your generation. Why must you waste your time on a cowardly art? That is pretty neat, right? I was going to boost them up to 7 military, but you can't break anything. But that's fine, because, like, right, if you could win some conflict, take out maybe some of their guys, make them waste some extra fate trying to block them all of a sudden. And as long as you can get a commander in, that'd be super helpful. And we just saw a really good command. You get him, he might drop a commander in there, which should be very good as well. We have our Implacable Magistrate. Bushi, Imperial, and Magistrate. Well, this character is attacking. Only this character and honor characters counter skill towards resolution of this conflict. So that's just only this character and honor characters. Failure before the law is a failure of honor. So that's kind of a fun way to decide who can't help. The Miwaki Kabe Guard, who has Bushi and Pride. After a character wins a conflict, honor it. This character loses a conflict, dishonor it. As well as unassailable as the honor of the lion. It's like really cheap character, but if you can help him win, he gains an extra bonus. And then our last one in line is we have the Beastmaster Matriarch, Bushi, and this character gets +2 military might for each ring in the opponent's claimed pool. So if you're losing more battles, this guy gets stronger. I always heard the Lion's greatest weapon is their pride. So yeah, if you're starting to lose, you're going to get pissed off and fight even harder. Alright, our 5th clan is Phoenix in orange. We have unique character Aiswa Kage Shigenja of the Void. Immune to opponent's ring effects. That's interesting. This character is attacking as the contested ring gains the void element. If the character wins a conflict as an attacker, instead of choosing an element to resolve each of that ring's effects. Nice. So all fates are one. So what's really interesting about this is because this one gets up. Let's say you're doing a earth ring, right? This will also add the void. So then if you win, you're going to do earth and void. But you could play like 2 or 3 other cards and add 2 or 3 other elements as well. So you could potentially with this, because someone was like, oh, you can choose this one instead of the other one, right? This one could potentially let you trigger 3, 4 different ones depending on how you play it. So that's actually really powerful. We have a holding. We have the Magnificent Lighthouse, which is that definitely looks pretty cool. Landmark. Action. With the top 3 cards of an opponent's deck, discard one of those cards. Place another on top of that deck and the other at the bottom of that deck. So as much as sorting through your cards can be very helpful, disrupting what your opponent has can be just as good. Especially since it discards one and puts one at the bottom. So it basically denies them from getting 2 extra cards. If they have some way of digging through their discard pile for stuff, which they might, depending on who they're playing as, at least you can then guarantee what card goes in there. So you can put the weakest one in there, put the best one on the bottom of their deck, and then put the other one there. Also, be funny to do is if they just played a card where they looked at the top 3 cards of their deck and then completely mess them up. Hey, whatever they left on top, that now goes in your discard pile. Prodigy of the Waves, Shugenja and Water. Action. Will the water ring is claimed, ready this character. To adapt to the flow around any problem is the lesson of the water. Sawa's elements. Nice. Triggers off the different things, but that's the Phoenix like to do, like to play around with the rings. We have a Haughty Magistrate. Bushi, Imperial, and Magistrate. Well, this character is attacking. Characters with the lower glory than this character do not counter skill towards the resolution of this conflict. So there's only 1, so that means only 0 card cost don't. But there might possibly be ways to boost your glory, which could then make him a little bit more powerful. There is Tao and there is Law. Both are the same under the heaven. We have our Henshin Disciple, Monk and Scholar. While you have claimed or are contesting the Air Ring, character gets 2 political. The Earth Ring gets 2 military. And the Fire Ring gains Pride. So that's fun. I like that. You get different stuff based on what you're doing. You like to play around with those. Master of the Jinsai Toshi, Shigenja Earth. Reaction. After the conflict phase begins, choose a ring. When that ring is contested to this phase, non-spell cards spell events cannot be played. Ooh. You can shut down a lot of the events. These guys love a lot of spells. There are strict rules regarding the behavior of guests. There have never been any guests. That's funny. Asako Suki, another unique character. Courtier, Scholar, Shingeju, and Water. She's a little of everything. Reaction. After the Water Ring is claimed, choose a Scholar character and honor that character. History is fixed, but not the future for those. So we have another Scholar in here. Shigenja. Scholars. Yes, I'd even work with him right there. That's pretty cool. Boosting him up. And our last one for the Phoenix Clan is another holding, but this one's unique. The Kanjo District for the Imperial. Limit 1 per deck. Action. During a conflict, discard the Imperial favor. Choose a participating character, bow that character, and move it home. Now, I always love these because you can choose your own characters if you want. So it's not just, oh, return your opponent's character. You might need to put yours back for some reason, which is always fun. Alright, our sixth clan is the Scorpion in, like, the red. Unique character, Bayushi Yajiro. Bushi, Imperial Angry Magistrate. So he's a magistrate keyword, although he doesn't have it in his text. List characters participating in a conflict, ignore the effects of each status token on each participating character. So he doesn't shut down, like the other magistrates, he doesn't shut down their skills, he just shuts down any of their tokens. Which could be helpful as well, right? Then we have Back Alley Highway for a holding. City and interrupt when a Scorpion character you control leaves play. Attach that character to this holding face down instead of placing it in its owner's discard pile. Action. Play the attached face down character from this holding as if it were in this province, then sacrifice this holding. That's pretty cool, right? So if you have a Scorpion character, when your guys die, you attach it to this, and then you can play this character face down. And you can, says there's nothing, it says you can't have more than one of these guys. You can stash a couple of your guys in here. Also very interesting, because it just says when a Scorpion, oh, it says you control each play. I should say, any Scorpion character. Yes, this is kind of, we had a couple of these. I like want this in Crabs. So if you start mixing other decks in there, other clans, it's gonna be, this isn't gonna become as effective depending on how many you add. Still, it's really neat. Of course, you could actually, yeah, because you're only adding stuff to your conflict deck, not to your dynasty deck. So it's not like you're taking up too many spaces. Yeah, you have to sacrifice this holding. So I guess you could attach a bunch to them, but then you just have to get rid of all of them after you do it. But you could attach multiple to this, right? So you could attach 3 or 4, and then when this action, you could play an attach face down, then you have options on what to play. So if you play like 3 of them, then your opponent wouldn't know which one's coming out. So that'd be kind of a fun surprise there. Here we have Finding Diplomat. Courtier, interrupt when this character leaves play, claim the Imperial favor. Nice. So they get a weak play. This would be a fun one to reattach, right? They lose, they get the Imperial favor, then you can hide them, and then later you could bring them back out if you don't have the Imperial favor and try and get it again. The Sake House Confidant, Courtier, and Shinobi. List characters participating in a conflict, discard the Imperial favor. Each Shinobi character you control gains +2 political until the end of conflict. This is another thing we're going to see in the cycle of these cards. We're not seeing it too much in here. We'll see more when we get into the conflict deck. With a lot of stuff with keywords for each different clan. So, like, we saw, I think, Lions were talking about using stuff with Commander. The Phoenix had Scholars, these have Shinobi. So they kind of give like one sort of group type to each different class. Dragon usually has Monk. There's a lot of Monk stuff. So that's kind of fun that they did that. And then we have Illustrious Plagiarist. Courtier, Shugenja, and Heir. Action. Choose a topmost event in an opponent's conflict discard pile. This character gains each of the event's actions and abilities until the end of the phase. All good artists borrow. I am a great artist. So, one thing I did notice in here, and I just want to double check this quick, is we didn't get an actual card named Magistrate in this set. We just got the other guy. So far every other clan has had a Magistrate in their deck. We do get the Magistrate for this one that actually says something Magistrate is in the Conflict deck. Because also noticing here we have what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards in here. Whereas when we talked earlier, like counting up the crab and crab and crane, we had 7 and 8, and we only have 5. So they're gonna get a lot more conflict cards than dynasty cards. It's gonna kind of bounce out there. Yeah, what is this guy? Topmost event in each opponent's conflict discard pile. This character gains each of the event's actions until the end of the phase. Ooh, that's kind of fun. Steal one of your opponent's abilities till the end of the phase. I mean, it may be good, may be bad, depending on what the effect actually does. But that's pretty cool. Alright, then our last clan is the 7th clan, which is in purple, the Unicorn. We have the Swift Magistrate. Bushi, Imperial, and Magistrate. While this character is attacking, each other character that has 1 or more fate on it does not count as skill cards or resolution. Cool. So we had odd cost, we've had if they're honored or not, we've had less glory, less fate, less regular cost than 2. So that's all these different ways to like ignore their skills. It is our duty to temper the law with compassion. For our holding, we have the Windsep Yurt. Action. Sacrifices holdings, select 1. Each player gains 2 fate, or each player gains 2 honor. Refill this province space up. After a week in the saddle, it felt like the Imperial Palace. So that's kind of neat. Do you really need a bonus one direction or the other? You can give it to yourself. But you gotta help everybody else out, but it could definitely be worth it. Alright, then we have a unique character. We have Aida Tadaji, Courtier, and Domino. Ooh, he's playing Go. Action. While this character is participating in a conflict, choose a ready non-participating character the printed cost of 2 or lower, controlled by each player. Move the chosen character to the conflict without a worthy opponent. The victory is meaningless. Nice, so you force one of their guys to jump into play and fight you. Which then could potentially pull them out of being able to be used in another conflict. Child of the Plains, Cavalry, and Scout. Reaction. After the province in this character's attacking is revealed, the attacker has the first action opportunity this conflict. Oh, that's cool. So as soon as you province's characters so yeah, you're getting the first opportunity to do stuff. See, nice. Cavalry like their advantages. The War Dog Master, Bushi. Reaction. After this character is declared as an attacker, discard the top card of your dynasty deck. This character gets plus X military until the end of the conflict. X is the printed cost of the discarded card. So this could be anything, really. You can end up discarding and get 5. You can end up getting 3. If you have a way to stack your deck, that could definitely help. Samurai as well as dogs, there would be no need for a Bushido. The Ukaka Mediator. Courtier. This character gets plus 1 military and political while you do not have the Imperial favor. It's difficult to speak clearly to those who have seen so little of the world. Nice. So not using it as a resource, but whether you have it or not makes a difference. Moto Zero, a unique character. This guy looks pretty badass. Bushi and Cavalry. Action. Select one. Move this character into conflict or move this character home from a conflict. Limit twice per round. I will follow you and then they will follow me. Even to Goku itself. So that's neat. This guy can use this twice. You can use this once to like move into conflict, and then you could use it later on to move out of conflict. Or you can move out of conflict. Oh, I don't want to be in this battle, and then later you could use it to move in and jumping on the second one or defend. So it's kind of neat. And our last unicorn is the Shinzo Scout. Bushi, Cavalry, and Scout. Reaction. After you gain a fate for passing the Dynasty phase, gain one fate. So if you end up passing, you go ahead and get extra fate for doing so. The Scorpion has in every court. We have eyes everywhere else. Cool. So those are our 7 clans. And we have some unclan cards for our Dynasty. We have some holdings here. The Miwaku Kabe for Imperial, when 1 per deck. Interrupt. When this holding's provenance is broken, shuffle this card back into your Dynasty deck. Gives you +3 and you get to use it again, potentially. That's definitely not bad. We have another unique one, the Imperial Palace. +2 for holding. Imperial limit 1 per deck. This holding adds +3 to your side during each glory count. Ooh, so you have a better chance of getting the Imperial favor while you have this. We have a unique character, Seppukan Ishikawa. Bushi and Imperial. So again, we're playing with a lot more Imperial stuff here. This character gets +1/+1 for each other Imperial card you control. So this is really neat character if you have a lot of Imperial holdings, Imperial provinces, a couple other Imperial characters like magistrates. This guy could get really big really fast. So that's definitely fun. And then our last Dynasty card is Mia Satoshi, Courtier, Daimyo, and Imperial. I love the fans. Like fan blades. Action. Discard cards from your Dynasty deck until you discard an Imperial card. Then, discard a card in a non-stronghold province you control and put up to 3 Imperial cards from that province face up. Until you discard an Imperial card. Then discard a card in a non-stronghold and put the discard Imperial card face up. So basically going to let you get an Imperial card out. You don't know what it's going to be exactly, but it's going to make sure you have one. You who would seek the Son of the Heaven would do well to speak to me first. Son of the Heaven is basically the Emperor, more or less. If I know my lore right, which I might not. So this is really cool. This side of these Dynasty decks. So, alright. So that is what we have so far for the Dynasty packs. We have for the Dynasty pack, we have the Dynasty set of cards. So yes, we have some really cool stuff like the magistrates being able to like reduce who can and can't help in battles. Plus all the Imperial stuff is really neat. We have new provinces, new holdings as well. But yeah, I like the Imperial stuff. Like I eventually, maybe not after the base set and even like all of these stuff, might not be able to, but I wonder if as you start getting a few more sets, if you might be able to make an Imperial only deck where every card has Imperial. It might definitely be possible by splitting some clans. We just have to see if there's a stronghold that has Imperial on it. Which I bet you there will be, at least one for sure. So that was rad. So come back, check out part 2 where we look at all the conflict cards. And if you just want to see which pack each one of these cards belong in, you can check out the speed pack, which goes pretty quick. It's about 15 minutes. See you guys there. Bye.